Hello and welcome back to day 3 of the challenge. Gonna jump into the action. 3-bet here in position. Basically break even right now. I wouldn't be break even if I didn't take the 10 NL shot. I'd be up about 4 buy-ins. I'm gonna call the ace jack. I don't want to be 3-betting too much out of position. Flop a jack. Start with a check call. Check calling the turn. This is a flop I'm gonna check raise. We got some backdoors. Well, he checked back, so it's just a bad bet. I was gonna say I was gonna check raise because I can rep all the 2-pair combos as well as the sets, and I have backdoors, straight draws, flush draws, check and barrel on. Just gonna fold 8 here. I could check raise and try and get him off of ace king, ace queen, but I'm not gonna do it this time. Not against under the gun. I don't really have a strong reason why not to, but I want to keep variance a little bit lower this session. Going to give up with the king 10. I'm just gonna shove the kings. If he has aces, he has aces, but if he has ace king, he's probably gonna call. Queens are gonna call. That's unfortunate. We got a very weak bet here. Considering raising. I'm just gonna call and see what he does on the turn. Okay, I likely have the best hand, but I don't see any reason to bet. That's annoying. I don't think he has too many jacks in his range, but he could have just checked ace king, ace queen on the turn. I don't think he's bluffing either. I'm gonna make a tight fold. Tributing the jacks on the button. Tributing king 8 in position. Ooh, we get a 4-bet and it's quite big. I'm actually gonna fold because I think it's mostly got aces and kings here. Might have ace king sometimes. Yeah, I'm just gonna fold. Eight four suited. I'm gonna play it. Probably wouldn't be opening this wide at higher stakes because I'll be getting 3-bet a lot more and players will be a lot better post flop. I'm gonna cold call my jacks here. Actually, I'm just gonna click it back. Get the button out of the way. Get a snap call. Make a small c-bet to protect my hand. Hope you guys are running well. I'd like to know what stakes you guys are playing, so if you would put in the comment section which stakes you're playing, that would be interesting to me. See what my audience is. Ace Jack here, I'm gonna 3-bet. I'm 3-betting bigger out of position because I want lower stack to pot ratio, because I'm out of position. And they're still gonna call pretty wide because they have position. I get 4 bets, so I'm just gonna let it go. H6 suited. I'm tempted to 3-bet this. It's near the bottom of my 3-betting range here. Good flop. C-bet a third of the pot. We get a call. I think I'm just gonna barrel this. I turn the gut shot. He doesn't have too many kings in his range, but now that he raised me, I'm definitely beat. Three betting against the cutoff. I'm 3-betting super wide against the cutoff. It's just very profitable because people open pretty wide in the cutoff. We got a cold caller, but he's a short stack, so not too worried about his range. Well, now I am a little bit worried. I'm actually gonna fold here, especially with this guy cold calling. Three bet the jack 7 suited against the hijack. We get another fishy cold call. This is not a board I'm gonna see bet because it's with this fish in the pot, it's too likely he has an ace. Checking bet the pocket eights. I'm gonna try to get the showdown. Five do suited. Let's raise it up. We get 3-bet. It's a pretty small 3-bet, and if I call, this guy behind me is definitely calling. So I'm gonna take a 3-way flop here. flop nothing, unfortunately. This guy dong bet very small. I'm gonna let it go. Start with a check call here. I don't know what he's thinking about. Okay, let's just check it. We get pot 4 bet here. I'm gonna fold. Queen jack off. Not gonna play it against an early gun. I might play it on the button. Get a 3-bet. We're in position. Let's take a flop. That's a pretty bad flop. True bet 5-6 off in the big blind against the small blind. He just folds for basically almost click it back. Here, I think I'm gonna go for a check raise. They all check and we river the nuts. Question is, how much can I get paid? I'm just gonna bet a little smaller than half pot. Hope to get paid by something. I don't know what exactly, like king 10 maybe. And we do get paid by pocket 10s. That's nice. Check back my jack here for pot control, turn trips. I'm gonna start betting. That's an annoying river. He leads out into me. I don't think he's bluffing in this spot. It's pretty hard to be bluffing in this spot, given I can have a flush and I can have a jack. So I'm just gonna make a default here. I'm gonna bet at this flop just for protection. Does hit my range, so don't expect to get check raised very light. I get a call here. Not too many kings in this range. I think I'm just gonna overbet it and give up if called. That's annoying. Definitely has pocket 7s in his range. I don't see what I beat. So I'm just gonna fold, I think. Pocket nines, you could 3-bet, but I just decide to call. It's a good flop for my range. I mean, you could have ace king, of course, but I'm just gonna dunk bet it because I don't like the idea of check calling, and I don't like the idea of check raising because it's probably not gonna see bet his board very light. He just quickly calls. Now I'm gonna overbet the turn, rep 2 pair. Pocket deuce is not gonna set mine. It's not gonna be profitable. This queen jack I might play. It's pretty loose, but the board doesn't hit his range. He does call. So we can put him on some pocket pairs. I think I can get him to fold by the river. We'll see how it goes. That 9 is pretty bad to bluff on. Even though he doesn't really have many 9s and he just knows I don't have many 9s in my range. Now he donk shoves. I mean, he's basically always got a 9. I mean, he could have had like, I don't know, ace 10 of diamonds, but I mean, then he's just bluffing with the best hand. There's nothing I can do here. Usually people don't try to bluff you off when you're repping an overpaired type hand. So you can pretty safely fold in those situations. Checks back. Either got a weak ace, a 7, or a jack. I check twice, he most likely has a jack. I'm not sure if I can get him off of it, I'm just gonna check it. I might have just had a weak ace and check back the turn too. So that's not a great bluff spot. I mean, you could check raise the river there big, but in my experience, river check raises get looked up pretty light. You get a very small check raise here, which is pretty weird. I'm gonna 3-bet the flop and see what he's up to. Yeah, that's what I figured. Betting out my 7s here because it's likely the best hand, and I want to protect against a 6 type hands and overcards. Not too many interesting spots in this session. Might make this video a little bit longer, just to get into some more spots. Here I'm just gonna cold call. There's already a cold caller, and I could have squeezed, but this guy is short. I'm gonna check back my 10. The other gun guy probably never has an ace, given how quickly he checked the flop. So I'm pretty confused. I think I'm just gonna turn my hand into a bluff, get into fold kings or queens, checks, just snap calls. I mean, he could have had just a flush round the turn. Could have a weak ace. That's very weird. Very weird line. I mean, this is a weird spot. Quite confused. You could have like pocket aces, I guess. I'm just gonna look him up because I find it too weird. Yeah. That was an interesting spot. Reason I called was, I mean, just with his timing, it didn't make much sense for him to have a big hand. He snap checked the flop, snap called the turn raise. I mean, it just didn't make any sense. This is a flop I'll be bluffing on. I can have 6-4 suited, he can't. Basically just barreling off my stack. Snap calls. Not too worried. Usually snap call means a weak hand. So I'm just shoving here. There we go. Squeezing the ace queens suited, trying to isolate small blinds, or at least get it heads up, and we isolate the small blind, which is perfect. Start off with a small c bet, get checked, snap called. So pocket nines is fairly likely, pocket tens is possible, pocket jacks too. You could have a set already. I'm just gonna check it and hope to hit an ace or queen. Yeah, I can't call this. This is never a bluff. Ace jack in position. Going to 3-bet it. We get pot 4-bet, so it's just a fold. Yeah, I'm not gonna 3-bet this jack 4 offsuit. I mean, it's making it so small though, I probably have to peel with any 2 cards. Get a 4-way flop here. And have to fold. Check calls a flop. Could be a weak king, could be a 10, a 9. I'm just gonna overbet the turn with my straight draw. I can rep so many hands. Six eight suited against the cutoff is definitely a standard 3-bet for me. Flop a gut shot. Turn a 6. I think I'm just gonna keep firing my equity. I don't expect a lot of folds on the turn, but I do expect a lot of folds to my river jam. Unless he has jack 10. It's basically not calling. Yeah. We got a big 3-bet here, but I'm in position with jack 10 suited. And we're deep, so it's definitely a call. Calling the flop. There's not much reason to do anything else. Turn is nice, which is interesting. Can I have ace king, ace queen? Now that he checks, it's pretty unlikely. I'm actually gonna turn my hand into a bluff, get into fold queens, kings, jacks. And if he does have ace king and check calls, I can probably bluff him off of it on the river. Repping ace 10, ace 7, and sets and stuff like that. Here I'm gonna bet again. Not the best spot, but see what he does. He check raises me, so I have to fold now. Check raise on the turn, especially in a 3-bet pot, is pretty much never a bluff. He might have like turn a bow too. Alright, 5 more minutes and I'll call this a session. Except for the kings versus aces, this has been a pretty good session so far. Don't want to speak too soon, but I'll bet my 2 pairs here. Check call. Bet the turn. 3-bet the king queen, flop a queen, that's perfect. Donks into us, so I'm just gonna call and let him bluff off. He checks the turn. Considering giving him a free card, because I don't think he has too much. Maybe he bluffs the river. No. Now we just jamming him. Making a loose open with the 7-4 suited. And c-betting my backdoors here. Not the best board to be c-betting on, but I got some backdoors, so now I'm just giving up. Giving up here. For deuce suited, for video's sake, I'm gonna open. Maybe we can get an interesting spot. And I'm gonna start sitting out on the next big blind. I'm gonna barrel here. I can get him off a weak ace by the river. That card kinda stinks. Yeah, that's probably the worst card to be bluffing on. Thinking about jamming, but I just think he's... Yeah, well, I'm gonna try it anyway. Yeah, there we go. Good, 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 good. Alright, so let's see where we're at. Still at basically break even. So see you tomorrow. Oh, actually, tomorrow will probably not be a video. But the day after tomorrow, I'll definitely be back home to make a video. So yeah. See you later.